So, it's funny. I first heard about this post actually on GPS. Tom Grossi shows with Brandon Perna, right? And what I find funny is, on their show, they talked about it for like an hour. And not one time did they bring up the Bengals as well. So, it's not just NFL.com here, who I realized that for some reason, didn't find any issue with not including the Bengals on this list. It was also their show as well. I think Perna eventually brought it up, like at the end of the video. It was like, well, the Bengals are actually pretty good too. So the NFL posted this, Bucky Books. He said NFL's 8 biggest Super Bowl windows right now. Chiefs, Lions, Ravens. Don't sleep on the Jets. Let's get it. So number 1 Super Bowl window is the Chiefs. That's not a question, right? That's very obvious. Yes, they have a Super Bowl window, as they just won the last 2 years in a row. I'm not going to question that one. Number 2 is the Lions. Now, tell me, when you don't put us on the list, right, and we went to the Super Bowl 3 years ago, okay? Very close to winning it, if not for a magical holding call versus Logan Wilson. Very close to winning a Super Bowl 3 years ago. You're going to tell me that we have a less of a Super Bowl window than Detroit Lions, who won their first playoff game in 30 years this year? First playoff win in 30 years. And then lost in championship weekend when they were destroying the 49ers. Because they blew out, they literally let the team come back and their defense choked. And they have a better Super Bowl window than us. Who's been, other than this year when Joe went down with an injury and he was out for the year, we've been to the championship. The year before that, very close to beating the Chiefs and going to the Super Bowl versus the Eagles. And the year before that, we went to the Super Bowl and we beat the Chiefs. But the Lions, a team that had won their first playoff game in 30 years, they're the team that has a Super Bowl window number 2. Okay. Thank you, NFL. The Baltimore Ravens. See, I'm not even going to argue with this one. Because Lamar Jackson is a great quarterback. He is a great quarterback. He is a great wide receiver, man. I'm going to tell you right now, Lamar Jackson, it's not bad for a wide receiver. I think we very much disrespected Lamar, and I like to send an apology out here from Houday Nation to Lamar Jackson. We should have never called you a running back. You clearly are a really good wide receiver. And I think that's really what we all didn't understand, was that you're not a running back. You're a wide receiver. Ironically enough, when he got drafted, that's what the teams wanted him to actually go do the combine as. They wanted him to be in the combine to change the wide receiver. So, ironically enough. But again, I'm not even going to argue that. I think the Ravens could win the Super Bowl. They are a Super Bowl contender. They have a window right now with Lamar Jackson, with a good defense. I say good because their defense is going to get downgraded after this year. Because they lost, they're going to lose a lot of pieces. But they still have a really good, team. 4, Cowboys. Tell me how. Tell me how you're not going to put us on this, but you're putting the damn Cowboys, whose last time that they won a playoff game, what was it, 1973? Actually, no. The last time they won a playoff game, ironically enough, was the Lions that they beat in a very questionable PI call. But nonetheless, though, and yeah. What? They can't make this. The world would have to end before the Dallas Cowboys make the Super Bowl. And you're telling me they have a bigger Super Bowl window than us? Yeah, great. Put them on the list. The 49ers have lost the last 3 Super Bowls in a row. And I know. The Bengals been to 3 and lost 3. Thanks. Cool. They still have lost the last 3. This doesn't change the fact. I hate when that narrative is like, well, you can't talk because this happened. No. I can still talk because both things can be true. We could have lost our last 3. But right now, being a Super Bowl window, the last 3 that we lost, one was 2 years ago, and the other 2 were back in the 80s. And I can still say the facts of the facts is the 49ers lost the last 3 Super Bowls. Chiefs, Ravens. They're not in they're in a championship every year, no Super Bowl window. But even then, I'm not going to argue that. Really? When? This team hasn't even ever sniffed a Super Bowl. Sniffed it. No sniffing. No, can't sniff it. What? They're in a Super Bowl window. They're negative $40 million in cap penalties right now because of Sean Watson's contract. They're going to have to rebuild their contract. They're not going to, rebuild their team. They're not going to be able to have their assets from last year. Ain't no way they are a Super Bowl window. What is the window? You have to make it first. They're not even in the doorway. They're not even on the driveway. They're on the neighbor's lawn. Ain't no way. Packers. I'm not against that. I think the Packers this year, they definitely choked in their divisional, but they destroyed the Cowboys. But I think still a very great team, has a potential here. They should have beat the 49ers, but they lost to them, and they always lose to the 49ers. How? Just adds Aaron Rodgers. First year is out for the season. Second year now, he's coming back. Super Bowl window. 39-year-old quarterback. Super Bowl window. And then this year, which is the best quarterback class, probably the next 5-10 years, they're not going to be taking a quarterback because they have Aaron Rodgers, who's going to be around for one more year. Where's the Super Bowl window? Listen. Chiefs Bengals. Super Bowl windows. I'm done playing this hopscotch game. No, I love this because this is just doubting us. You're doubting us. Thank you. There's been so much positivity with NFL, analysts saying, "Oh, the Bengals are good now. The Bengals are good now. The Bengals are good now." No, stop it. Because you're only trying to hype us up now because you know we're going to be good. Doubt us. Tell us we can't do it. Tell us we're not good enough. Say we're the Bengals, and we'll prove to you why that's not true. And I can't wait to revisit this at the end of next year. 8 teams right here that have a better Super Bowl window than us. 8 teams. I can't love it. Peace out, guys.